Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning.
Have we stayed up all night long talking? I don't know. Other word, anybody? Never mind. Hey, good morning. You know what it is today? It is Sunday. It's, oh my God, get this coffee over here. 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning. You are with us. Turn your phone down.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
It is turned down.
Hey, welcome to Coffee Time with Carrie and Preston.
No, man.
What?
No.
I didn't get it right. Welcome to Coffee Time with Preston and Carrie. Hey, happy anniversary, Carrie.
Happy anniversary.
I said it first.
But I said it first this morning, which counts.
Well, I'll say it last, which means I'm going to outlive you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. God has already shown me.
Well, if you outlive me, then you'll have to deal with my death. So take that.
I guess
it's really
that is
a punishment
the
to you.
ultimate screw you to your spouse is to die first. Like, you got to clean up the mess because your bowels loosen.
Okay. No,
Okay.
we're
Anyways,
done. We're done
all right,
with
hey,
this.
here's a question or a thought that I had. Because it is our anniversary today, 18 years, as a matter of fact. 18 years, and what do you get?
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. Little question
Heartache.
I had.
Oh.
Two people living together, working together, all this other stuff. Proof that heterosexualism, and I'm not going to speak ill of any other lifestyle. Okay, it's not my MO, Carrie. You know what
Okay.
No, I shouldn't have to do that. What I will speak to, though, is how amazing heterosexuality is. All the other lifestyles get out and have parades and just shout how awesome they are. Why aren't the heterosexuals doing that? And I am going to be the first to do it right now. I'm going to take this morning. This is heterosexual pride morning. That's what I'm going to do. This is why being a heterosexual is amazing. And it's better. Holy God.
Okay.
Move that stuff.
Simmer down.
I'm just so excited because
Just
it's our anniversary. I'm
relax.
so in love and excited with you. The reason heterosexuality, it's the best sexuality, it's the best way to be, is because the same reason that you don't start a fire with two sparks. You ever thought about that? The best way to start a fire is if you had like a flame and you put them together. You're not going to start a fire with that.
You're not going to spark a fire
You ain't
either.
going to spark no fire. But you know what? If you take a flame and like something flammable.
Yeah,
and
like
you put
lint.
them. Yes. I'm the flame. You're the lint.
You're an ass.
And I will consume you.
I'm
with
sorry.
my
This is family show. I didn't mean to say that.
Well, anyways, you take two things that are kind of opposite and you put them together. Boom, you got fire. You can do all kinds of great things with that fire. But if you take a spark, or like that's what I mean. Like if you take lint and you like put a little spark to it, it will catch on fire.
Yes.
If you take one spark and put it with another spark, all you have is a bigger spark.
Two sparks.
Yeah. If you take one flame and put it with another flame, all you have is a bigger flame, big flamer. Yeah, man. So think about that. Just celebrating heterosexuality. 18 years of heterosexualism right here. Happy anniversary again,
Happy
darling.
anniversary.
Hey, man.
Moving right along.
We went to a wedding a couple of months ago, back in April. You remember that wedding?
Yes, it was great. I loved that wedding.
That was your brother's wedding out in California.
It was a wonderful wedding. Lots of fun.
And people are like, oh, I cry during weddings. You know, they're so emotional and all this other stuff. Hey, Heather Fusslier, and I imagine her heterosexual counterpart is with her. So Sherman is
this like
there.
a thing all
It says
day?
a good morning from Sherman and Heather. Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad you're with us today. So, celebrating 18 years of heterosexualism. Yeah, it's a new thing. I'm doing this from now on. I'm just going to put
man.
one little fact about why my lifestyle choice is so amazing. That's all. I'm just celebrating like everybody else is doing.
Okay.
Okay. Back to the point. We went to this wedding. People are like, oh, wedding is so emotional. It's great. But I did get a little teary-eyed during the ceremony.
It wasn't the ceremony for me. It was the dance when they were having their first dance. I didn't think that I would get...
I'm just going to move that up right there. Go ahead. We're listening.
I didn't think that I would get emotional at all for some reason. But I did. I just was watching my little brother dance with his wife and them start their life. And this was the start of your actual life, right? Because this is a person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. So everything from here on out, or their life, for you.
Yeah. What?
Like you're going to be with me for the rest of my life. I won't be with you for the rest of your life because you're going to live longer
I
than
am
me.
going to outlive you.
But it's like the start of a whole new world for them. And so that did bring out some emotion in me that I wasn't expecting. I was fighting back tears in a big way.
Interesting. Well, during the actual ceremony, there was the Arabic drumming during the party afterwards.
Yes.
And they were like some Arabic people, Lebanese people. And they were like all banging some like lambskin drum and hooping and hollering and dancing. That was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
I mean, I can't do it. I was just sitting there looking at it. My German heritage was just watching their Lebanese heritage dance around.
Let me tell you, if you ever get a chance to go to an Orthodox wedding, you're in for some fun.
Well, they got to be Lebanese Orthodox or something. I think that had more to do with their Arabic roots more than their Orthodox roots.
Okay.
Anyways, during the ceremony, though, I started to think about you. I was like, everything we got going on, everything I've done in my life for the past 18 years now, I can celebrate it because we've done it together. We've built it together. And I was thinking, even this whole trip out to California, without you, I wouldn't be sitting out in California right now, enjoying the sun and just watching these people get married. This is pretty great. And it really made me think, man, I don't know, I can't even put it into words right now, but just the idea of building a life with another person. It's pretty romantic, pretty great, which got me thinking this. God, there's only one God, right?
Right.
You ever met another God?
No.
No. There's only one God. So it's got to be kind of lonely for God because he can't go to like an intergalactic God convention where all the gods get together and then they like bitch and moan about other situations. Like one God comes, yeah, man, my people, they're disobeying again. And this God's like, yeah, I hate it when they do that. They can't like vent to other gods.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. So that's got to be kind of frustrating, but there's only one God. So how does he keep from being lonely? And we got hello from Nicaragua. Somebody tuned in. Is that on? What are you watching on?
Let me see.
Are you on Coffee Time with Preston and Carrie?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then go click on that and see if there's a comment there.
Marlone. Hey, Marlone.
Marlone,
Happy
all the
birthday
way.
yesterday.
That's correct. I would say Feliz Cumpleaños, but this is an English broadcast, and it's not Duolingo. I'm sorry. It's just the one language.
Happy birthday. We are so blessed by your birth.
Happy
Marlon.
Cumpleaños. Anyways, so one God, how does he keep from being lonely? What do you think? Or have you ever thought about that?
I don't think he...
A lot of dead air here, Carrie.
Well, you knew
Go.
what would happen if you asked me a question.
No, go ahead. What do you think?
I don't think he gets lonely because he has a son and he's created a bunch of stuff to keep him busy.
Okay. Interesting point. So let me scroll down here in my notes. God is one, but he's not alone. And I just asked you how he did that. So he creates life, right? And I would say that life is a byproduct. Creation is a byproduct of love. I've done a couple of weddings. I've married a couple of people. Not married. I don't like that. It's limited English language when we say, oh, yeah, so-and-so married us. That sounds weird.
Yeah, a wedding ceremony.
Yeah, I've conducted a couple of wedding ceremonies. And what I say in the wedding ceremony is that the reason we get married is because life and creation is a byproduct of just love, as opposed to destruction, byproduct of hate.
Correct.
So byproduct of God just being love is that he's going to create and do some things. So he creates life and he includes other entities, other things into his life. We don't include God into our life. We get included into his life. Would you agree or disagree? What does it look like if we include God in our lives? People are like, I'm going to let God into all compartments of my life. Is that kind of a egocentric statement, you think? If somebody goes, I'm going to allow God to permeate all of my life situations.
Is it a what?
Is it a egocentric statement to say, I'm going to allow God into my life? Or should we say, I'm glad that God allows me into his life?
Well, I mean, it's a good question, but he created us to have free will.
Okay.
Because he created us to have free will and to choose him, I don't think it's an egocentric statement. Okay. Just like when your child decides to invite you to their wedding, you know, okay, they should invite you. Like they should want to have you be a part of this celebration. If they don't, me as a parent, I don't really care. I mean, it's the start of your life. Do whatever you want. But if I'm allowed to be a part of that, you're just going to be blessed more.
Okay.
So, right.
So it's mutual then?
No, it's not mutual.
Oh, okay.
God gives you the choice. Do you want to accept me into your life and be blessed and receive the blessings that I have for you? Or do you want to reject me and receive what Satan has for you?
Okay.
And so to say, I accept God into my life is saying, I choose you over everything else. So it's essentially saying the same thing, except in your situation, God is choosing you. And so I think that's more egocentric because you're taking the personal responsibility of your decision out of it. And you're saying, well, God chose me, so I can do whatever I want.
Okay.
It takes the choice, the individual's choice out and says, well, this is what the answer is deemed for you. And this is what the answer is deemed for you. And if you do that, then you open a world of trouble.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but God didn't choose you. He chose me.
Right.
So piss off. Hey,
Instead of I chose God.
Yeah, okay.
I welcomed God into my life, and he chose me when he allowed me to choose him. You know what I mean?
Well, so it's mutual then.
It's not mutual.
God chose to allow us into his life. And so now the ball's in some people in our court to allow that we say, okay, then I want to allow God into my life.
Yeah, but when you said some people, I want you to capture the idea of what I'm saying, and it's not some people, it's all people.
You don't think
all people have to choose God.
Okay.
God has already chosen all people. It is that person's responsibility to say I accept it or reject it.
Okay. I think whether people realize it or not, they're choosing to allow either God into their life or Satan into it. I think this is what you just said, right?
Right.
Yeah, you were just
I know. I like to give you ideas so that you think they're your own.
All right. That's how I process. Hey, got another comment from the Fussliers. They say, love the shirt, Carrie.
Thanks. I also love this shirt. Yeah. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah. A whole bunch of smart ass comments came through my mind, but I'm not going to move on any of those. So what does God do? He's alone, but he's not lonely because a byproduct of his nature is creation, in which he's including all other created things into his life. in giving those living things an opportunity to choose to involve him in his life. Sounds like a marriage.
Right.
Two individuals going, I want to include you in my life. You want to include me in your life, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Also, just the frustration alone that mankind brings has to be enough for God to stay busy enough to never get lonely.
That's where one of those intergalactic God conferences would come in handy, where all
Don't you think it could have that with the Son of God, though, and the Holy Spirit? Like, let's the three of us get together and discuss this mess.
Maybe that's why he begot himself a son, because I got to have somebody to bitch to. This situation, these people, they're pissing me off.
Well, maybe he begot himself a son because since the son was human, the son could be like, well, this is why we have compassion. Because let me tell you, I've walked with these people and I know that they are frustrating as hell, but it's just because they don't know what they're doing.
It seems like there could be an episode of Maury Povich in which Maury's like, well, God, I've got the results right here. You did begot this son. And everybody's like, I knew it, Maury. I knew it. I knew that was the begotten son of God. Boom. Yeah. I think there's a comic sketch in there somewhere.
Oh.
The fuss leader said,
along.
For real. For real. So listen, let's talk about being like God. This is kind of, all this is to move us into this section. Okay, so it's great. God chose us. We choose God. It's all these lofty ideas. Yay. What can we actually do right now, right here? I've got the answers for you. Are you ready, Carrie? Write this down. This is going to change your life. It's going to make you a better wife.
Oh.
Yeah. I know you're already a good wife and you're sometimes confused on how it could be any better, but there is room for you to grow. And here it is. Are you going to write this down? Here's judging, like not judging, but
so
based
humble.
off of, I'm smiling. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Based off of my observations of God, because this is what I do. I go, okay, got to build a life. I got to do this. I got to do that. How do you build a life? And then I go, well, how did God build a life with me? Let me just see. Don't touch my mug. I
Stop
don't
hitting
care.
it.
If I want to knock it over, I can do that.
I am in the crossfire.
Doesn't matter.
I don't want to get a coffee stain out of my jeans.
Don't reach over and touch my mug. This is what I do. If I'm interested in learning how to build a life, how do I build a life with my wife? 18 years, wedded bliss. What did God what did God do with me? And I take my cues from God. So this is what I came up with. This is what, when you talk about including others, this is what God didn't include. And so therefore I can say this. This is the things in life that we should not include others in.
Okay.
Ready? Got a little list. Decision making. We should not include others in our decision making. What do you think about that?
So you're saying you shouldn't include your spouse in decision making?
Nope, you should just do it.
Make all the decisions.
I bought a boat.
Today I'm buying a car.
That's right. Boom.
And not tell you. Just go and buy it. Sign on the dotted line. It's my credit. I make all the payments.
Well, I used your credit to buy the car.
Right. But you can't use someone's credit who's not there. So if I were to go sell the truck and get something else, you'd be like, yes, that's what I wanted. Not involving each other in decision making is what we should do.
No, because you're a woman and I'm the man. And you shouldn't do that because it'd be disrespectful towards me.
But you just said that we shouldn't involve others in our decision making. Okay,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. When you get married to somebody, you are one flesh. So you are one.
Boom. So I don't have to include.
So,
it's
the
us
decision
making the
has to
decision.
be discussed. Like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing, selling the house and buying land.
Okay. Okay. Decision making. When God decided to send his only begotten son to reconcile all the other wayward sons and daughters of God, did he discuss that with Jesus, or did he say, look, son, this is what's going on. I want you to do it. And then the obedience of Jesus was, well, Dad, if that's what you want, that's what I'll do. What do you think about that? Did God include Jesus in the decision making to kill Jesus?
No, he did
Boom,
not.
boom, boom. That's it. No,
But
no, no, no.
no, but Jesus decided to
To follow.
follow
Yeah.
what his father had presented to him.
Yes.
So essentially, it was presented,
Yeah.
and Jesus decided to follow that.
Right.
Also, you're making a bride and bridegroom out of God and Jesus when you should be making it out of Jesus and us.
Well, hang on. That's a good point. Did Jesus, when he was dealing with his disciples, involve them in his decision making to allow himself to be betrayed and killed? No. Anytime his disciples were like, "You're not going to let that happen," what did he say? "Shut your mouth, Satan. You don't know what you're talking about." So
I think he said,
what
"Get
I
behind
say
me,
to
Satan."
you. Well, that's my interpretation. So anytime you're like, "No, you're not going to buy that boat," shut your mouth, Satan.
I have a lot of interpretations of the Bible that I'd like to present to you.
No, listen though. I understand that to say don't include others in your decision making is going to get a reaction. Of course. Why do you think I chose those words?
I am not reacting because I
yes,
am
you
not an emotional woman. You are.
Oh.
Moving right along.
So you're married to an emotional woman?
Yes.
So you're a lesbian then. How
I
does
am.
that feel? You sinful. Two sparks don't make a flame, Carrie.
Well, here's the thing.
fire,
I
whatever.
might be a lesbian, but my lesbian spouse has a penis and is a man.
This is a family show. What are you saying? Relax. Oh yeah, your lesbian spouse identifies as a man, but be quiet.
We've
Enough
gone
of that.
off the rails here.
Quiet, Satan. Good Lord.
We're losing them.
There's a reason that I chose decision making. It's supposed to make you think, but it is true. Jesus informed his disciples what would happen. God informed his son what would happen. Okay? That's not controlling, because when God informed Jesus what he expected of him, he ran the risk of Jesus disobeying him. When Jesus told his disciples, informed them what was going to happen, he ran the risk of his disciples saying, "No, I can't go with that. Don't want to do it." He ran the risk of his disciples being tempted by Satan to think only of the things of the world and of the flesh and of man, not the things of God. That's actually what Jesus said. You're Satan because you don't have the things of the Father on your mind. Right? Got a comment from Brandon Falcon. Happy Easter Sunday, and let's go, Brandon. Happy Easter Sunday. What the hell is that? Hey, good morning, Brandon. Good to see you, man.
Morning.
I enjoy all of your posts. They're so horrible.
I also enjoy his posts.
I don't know if they're sacrilegious. I don't think they're sacrilegious, but they're definitely horrible. Absolutely
I'm a fan.
horrible.
Continue. Please continue.
If you ever want to feel like you're not a Christian, go look at Brandon Falcon's post, and then if you find yourself laughing, you're probably not a Christian. Anyway,
No,
I'm joking.
not
I'm
true.
Joking. I'm joking. Anyways, so the decision making, not necessarily the communication, but definitely decision making. And so many times see people who are expected to make decisions. They want to kowtow and they want to include other people in the responsibility to make a decision and then go with it and see what happens. And instead they want to go, "Well, what do y'all think?" And everybody who's supposed to be following and listening to the leader goes like, "Well, it's not a group thing. We want you to be the leader, to make the decision and then handle the repercussions of the decision."
Right.
Take the risk. God took a risk. Jesus took a risk, like I was just explaining. Let's move on, though.
Which is what a man should do, right?
man.
In a marriage, that's the man's responsibility. Mm-hmm. Now, I do have to say, although I believe that men and women should come together on certain things like financial decisions and big ticket items, right?
Sure. Okay.
There is a time for the man to just say, "This is what's happening."
Yeah.
And you will come do what I am telling you is going to happen in our family, because the man gets his direction from God and the woman is supposed to be obedient.
Hey, listen, the man does that because there's a time and place for the man to say, "This is what's going to happen. This is what we're doing." He runs the risk of his wife getting mad at him, being in open rebellion against him. He has to, as a man, God has to take the risk. He took a risk by letting you be born. that you might turn from him and burn in hell, and that he took a risk on losing you by giving you free will. If we're going to be like God, we're going to build a life together, we're going to grow in love, we got to take the risk.
Well, and this is where wisdom comes in. If the man is supposed to tell his wife and family, like, this is the direction we're going, God is going to give him wisdom in how to do that.
Yeah.
And any man that loves his wife and is actively showing love for his wife, he will present it in a way that his wife has no problem coming up under that.
Well, and patience goes a long way too. You tell your wife something. Hey, I know we talked about this. I've made a decision. We're going to change our plans. And the wife's like, ah! And the man.
That never happens.
Oh, yes, it does. Oh, yes, it does. The man's got to be patient. It's okay. I knew that if I laid this, it would be a shock to hear this news. I'm going to give her some space or whatever, instead of trying to fix everything and control everything.
Well,
we got to move on, though.
Well, wait. Also, another thing is, when a man makes a decision, he has been thinking about that decision and pondering it, and probably for a time if he doesn't tell his wife anything.
Yeah, don't tell
There's
anything.
probably been several weeks or months that he has been trying to wrap his mind around it and do all this stuff. You have to have enough grace and love for your wife to give her the chance to also do the same.
That's right.
Like,
Yeah.
you say as a man, I've made this decision and this is the route we're going. As a woman, you have to give her the respect to also come along and say, yes, I have questions. I want to know how this is going to, whatever, because you've already done all of that.
Well, right. Let's take a cue. All we got to do, we want to learn how to live our lives. All we got to do, look at God, study God, and it might take some time. Study Jesus, what he did. So look at God. This is the way it's going to be. Okay. And then you got to give time for humanity to respond correctly, get over the shock or whatever. Jesus comes along. I'm going to be betrayed and killed, and everything that we've been working for the last 3 years is going to go out the tubes, and people are going to persecute you. It's going to suck. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Tomorrow, 5 minutes from now, because here comes Judas to betray me. That would have been rude. No, Jesus started telling his disciples about what was going to happen years out. And at first they couldn't understand it. But Jesus doing that to be a considerate, loving friend, leader, husband, whatever you want to put in there. I'm going to give you time, wrap your mind around it. We used to do that with our kids. Mm-hmm. You go to the grocery store, they give your kid a balloon. Yeah. The first time we were inexperienced parents, we went outside. We're like, okay, we got to get rid of that balloon. The kid freaks out. Then we learned. Soon as that kid gets that balloon, you say, okay, now what do we do? When we get outside, we're going to let that balloon go up into the sky.
Yeah, you have to give them time to wrap their mind around it. And then it just became...
That's what you did with the balloon.
Our kids were never allowed to bring the balloon in the vehicle. Yeah. And so they just knew, I have until I get to the car with this balloon. I'm going to love this balloon. I'm going to hold this balloon. I'm going to spend all the time I can with this balloon. Oh, we're at the car. Let it go. Okay, now I'm going to wave goodbye to the balloon.
Yeah. And so many people, and we're kind of hung up on this first one. I got like I got a bunch of other ones. But listen, so many people are like, they read the book of Revelation and they're trying to crack the code. And it's like, you know that this is just kind of a thing that God gave to the church, the book of Revelation. Oh, how it's going to be in the end times at the end of the world. Yeah, this is just me letting you know so that when it happens, you're not all freaked out.
Right.
This is just God letting us know, hey, when we get to the car, we're going to let go of the balloon. But people are over there going, well, when are we going to get to the car? And what does the car look like? And how do we know we're actually at the car? And oh my gosh, we're already at the car. And it turns into a mess. Hey, another thing that you shouldn't include others in, your responsibilities. Your responsibilities belong to who? You. That's it. Okay, I'm going to move on. We're going to keep going. Our goals. What do you think about that? Got another comment from Brandon Falcon. Nobody's perfect. Y'all still do the park deal on Thursdays? Yes. Yes, 6:30, Candy Cane Park. If you're in the Conroe area, shoot us a private message. See if we're going to be out there. Sometimes we got other stuff going on. We're not out there. We let people know. The folks that are involved in that, we text.
If there is a hurricane a coming, we might not be out there.
That means we have no faith. We should have faith to go out there in the eye of a hurricane. Worship our God.
No, dude, that would mess up my hair.
Oh, Lord. See? So vain. So vain. Listen,
it's true.
Our goals. People are, I want to include other people in my goals. If you're including other people in your personal goals, that means you're putting your agenda onto other people. You're agenda driven. That's bad news. Got any comments about that, or should we keep moving?
I mean, you seem like you're on a roll, so let's continue.
On a roll. Let's keep going. Do not ever, ever, ever.
Under any circumstances. No matter what they say. No matter what may happen. Come on.
Fear. Do not include other people in your fear. What does it look like to include other people in your fear, Carrie?
Why are you asking me?
Because you're the only one. I'll ask them.
I mean, I guess I don't know what it looks like to involve other people in your fear. Telling them how afraid you are, I guess.
It's a burden of fear that you might have to deal with and go through, and you're running around dumping it on others. I think the number one way what sharing your fear with other people looks like is you're afraid, and you look for other people who are also afraid, and then you go and you say, "Oh, okay, this is my community."
Also like known as gossip.
Water seeks its own level. Mm-hmm. Gossip, okay, fair enough.
I mean, I don't think that you should involve a lot of people in most of the feelings that you have, whether it's fear, anger, hatred. All of those feelings, well, hopefully you don't have hatred, but all of the feelings, the flittering feelings, which is the enemy trying to make a way into your mind and heart, I don't think you should share those with people. I think that you should take those to God, because what happens when you have those feelings, when fear is involved, because you're afraid, you try, like you said, water seeks its own level. So you try to get other people who are either afraid as well, or who will give you understanding. And you see this in the church all the time, where people use situations to gossip to other people. And really, I think this causes, what's the word I'm looking for? I think that this causes division. No. That's not the word. You fail.
Trying to help.
It causes somebody to be more depressed, because people will try to comfort you, and they won't tell you what you're saying is wrong, how you're acting is wrong. Because you're upset, they'll try to comfort you. And other people should not try to comfort you in those situations. You need somebody who will speak the truth. God will show you. The Spirit of God will show you what the truth is. Yeah. But if you lie in the fear, if you sit in the fear, it will take hold of you, and it will cause you to be something that is not of God. The spirit of fear will consume you, and that consumption, there's no way to let God shine through that. The only one you can turn to is the Father in that situation.
Very nice. Okay. Yeah. So gossip. It's probably like the number one way people share fear, or they include others in their fear. Brandon Falcon, he says, post what I post. Now that's not a question mark. So at first I thought he was asking like, what I post? What I be posting? There's no question mark. No, Brandon, I'm not going to post what you post. I might secretly laugh.
Oh, man.
I might laugh on the down low.
You're not laughing on the down low because you're bringing it up on here.
Fair enough.
Everyone should go to his page and see the things that he posts.
It's if you have a sick sense of humor, you'll enjoy it. If you don't, you won't enjoy it. You'll be good.
It's so funny.
I can't believe
Let me tell you, it is so funny, and you probably won't think that we're Christians after seeing it. But I don't care what you think, because I know what I am.
Fair enough. Anyways, what I post, not a question though. post what I post. No, Brand, I'm not going to post what you post.
You should do it. Post what he posts.
I got a lot of customers on Facebook, and they're going to be like, I don't want Preston anywhere near my car. But it's okay because Brandon, this is some shameless recognition towards Brandon. Brandon's got a little company. He's got a construction company. They do fencing, I believe. You share that stuff all the time. Real good. So you could say, what do I post? Fence posts, something dumb like that. But Brandon does that. And from day one, he's been posting crazy things and also promoting his business. So the people who choose him, they kind of get his personality and everything wrapped up into one.
Yeah, here's the thing.
So it's good. It's
be
really
yourself,
good.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if people want to be around you, it's going to be because of who you are, who God created you to be. So be you. I think a big, huge problem with society right now is that everyone gets so offended by so many different things. And people are so quick to say who's a Christian and who's not a Christian and, who's right and who's wrong. Yeah. And it's my belief that I'm just like, well, who the hell cares? Live your life and be happy.
Yeah, fair
be
enough.
who you are. Be authentic. Be real. If you can't be who you are, then what is the point?
And that's a great segue into the things that we should.
Moving right along.
We should. Yeah. Thanks for talking, Carrie. The men are going to talk now. I'm joking. Don't get mad.
Okay. Happy anniversary.
So emotional. Calm down. The things that we should include others in. Celebrating. We should celebrate with other people. People who celebrate by themselves, they're called drunks. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, I'm celebrating another weekend coming all by myself. You damn drunk. Anyways, don't celebrate by yourself. You better call somebody. Celebrate success with other people. That looks like generosity, right? Mm-hmm. Being generous. Hey, I'm successful and I got the money to prove it and I'm going to be generous. Something else that you should share with others. And this is what God does with me all the time. Listening. He shares his listening with me. When God listens, it's not just, he doesn't just listen to himself. He listens to me.
And here's what's important about that. People will have a quiet time. I hear this excuse all the time. Well, I don't get alone with God because I can't hear him. I hear him in this way or that way. And it's a thought that I have that is like, well, why do you have to hear God? Maybe God wants to hear you.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever think about that? Well, I tried to get quiet with God and I couldn't. I'm just not hearing from him. Well, maybe he's hearing you.
God might be listening to you.
Like, get quiet, listen for him, yes. Okay. But if you don't hear him or have dreams or have prophetic words or whatever, maybe, just maybe, he wants you to get something off of your chest.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. I would counter and say 9 times out of 10. 1 time out of 10, he wants to hear from you. 9 times out of 10, it's because anybody that says, well, I haven't heard from God, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. It's only because you don't know how to go and listen to you don't know how to hear the voiceless voice of God. You're in your head. Because God's voice is a revelation that comes to your heart, your soul. And you just know it. And then it's the unpacking. But what were you going to say?
So here's the thing, though. Mm-hmm. There are plenty of times where I'm talking to my children and I just listen. I just want to hear what they're saying.
Right.
And I think that if you always assume that God just wants to talk to you, it's just not the case. Because why would we have that correlation as parents from our kids? Like God says, come to me like a child.
Yeah.
A child, my children come to me and they talk. They talk about stuff that I don't care too much about. And then they talk about stuff that I really care about. And I never think, get away.
Well, no, that's because the kids know that you don't have anything to offer. Because when they come to me, they're like, oh man, Dad is so full of wisdom. I'm just going to shut up and listen to what he has to say.
Again, so humble.
And they bring like a notepad.
No, this is what
Don't
the
judge
kids
me.
do.
The Fussliers got a comment. Too many people are quick to judge. That's right. I think
Yeah.
you're talking about Brandon over there.
Let me tell you, this is what the kids do. They come to you
Uh-huh.
and they're like, Dad likes to talk. So if I shut up long enough, I'm not going to make him mad.
Don't get behind me, Satan. Don't be coming with those kind of thoughts in my head. The kids just trying not to make you mad. You're jealous. You're jealous that I am a freaking well of knowledge and wisdom that the kids, they lap it up. They like the Queen of the South coming to the wisdom of Solomon.
My goodness.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just joking, but you're right. You're right. There's times. That's why I said God includes us in listening. Because he does listen to us. He does hear you. He is attentive.
Well, here's what's important. If you come to God every time that you need something, but never just talk.
Yeah.
That's one thing. You
Yeah.
know, like you can't just come to him when you're in peril and expect it all but have absolutely no relationship with him. Like, oh crap, I know I'm going to have a heart attack because I just did an 8-ball of Coke. Lord, save me. You can't go to him in those situations.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not.
Now
I don't
what you
do drugs, but
that's right. Yeah, you get somebody that only needs something from you, and they call you. You answer the phone like, "What you want?" Anyways, here's the last one I'm going to put. There's countless others, but the last one we'll talk about. Do include others in your time. Be available. Be generous with your time. Time, you're never going to get it back. And if you're stuck to this earth and this life, you haven't transcended. You're still living in your mind, which means fear and anticipation and judgment of the future that's not even there. Those of us who have learned to live from the Spirit within, we go within. We're alive because we've been born again by the Spirit. We say, I won't die. The real me is not going to die. Mm-hmm. The body might die, but the real me is not going to die. Therefore, I can be generous with my time because I know that I'm eternal. And God knows he's eternal. He's not worried about, oh man, I'm wasting time. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So he's able to be generous with his time with us. And we got to do likewise. You want to be like Christ. You want to be a Christian. What does it mean to be a Christian? It means to be Christ-like. And Jesus, we get, go to the Bible if you have to. Jesus is going to go take a little vacation with his disciples. He gets in a boat, goes over, heading across the lake to the resort, and people are already there waiting for him. And what does he do? Get the hell out of here. I'm on vacation. No, he says, you know what? He has compassion on him. He does have boundaries. Jesus had strong boundaries. So he didn't let people walk all over him. But he had a lot of compassion on people.
Yeah,
by just giving them his time.
A lot of people like to misconstrue what'd you just say? Boundaries with not showing love. You can have strong boundaries and still be loving people. But you can say, like, I'm not going there with you, man.
That's absolutely
Every
right.
time you call me, you want to gossip about this or that. I'm not doing that crap with you. Let's talk about what's real. Here's what's real. You cannot control society. You cannot control the other people in your life. You cannot control any situation, but you can control yourself. Yeah. So let's work on you. Because it doesn't matter if the whole world hates you. The whole world hated Jesus.
They done killed him. And you ain't better than Jesus.
It doesn't matter. Everything around you, all the distractions around you don't really matter. The truth is, how can you fix what's going on in you? Because everything else is out of your control. It's all in God's control.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And the number one thing going with, especially the Christians in America, the woke Christians, the progressive Christians, like we got to accept people. We don't want to shun them. We don't want to judge them, but they're confused. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to show love, but they really have no idea of how to show love. And this is, all they got to do is go to the Bible and just, what did Jesus do? It's that simple. Jesus goes to the well to get a drink. There's a woman there. When the discussion turns to her private life and who she's living with out of wedlock, her sin, he doesn't condone it. He doesn't affirm it to make her feel better because, oh, I don't want her to get mad or else she won't hear my message of salvation. Nope. This is how he shows her love. He's available.
Right. And he just
He's
tells
available.
her like it is.
Well, before that, she even says, you're a Jew. I'm a Samaritan. What are you doing talking to a Samaritan? This is the point. He was available with his time. He included her in what he was doing. He didn't want to be included in her crazy, weird sex life. That's neither here nor there. Hey, look, lady, you're all jacked up. You don't know what you're doing. Don't include me in that. Why don't you come over here and I'm talking about something else.
Right.
And this is too many times the churches, the Christians, the whoever, just family members. We want to show love. What we end up accidentally doing is condoning the behavior of others instead of, you know what? I'm available. I'm here. I'm available. If you don't want what I have to offer, then just pack your crap and go someplace else. But it's not going to deter me from showing love through sharing my time with you, my listening, my celebration, all this other stuff. We need to look no further than the example we get from Jesus. This is the example of how someone who is in a perfect relationship with their Creator behaves.
Right.
They don't sweep things under the rug and call wrong right and right wrong and all this other crap. All they do is, oh, so you're living with a guy that's not your husband. Oh, damn. How'd you know that? Look, not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about your motives, deeper things that are going on. You want what I have to offer or not? And move away from that crap. I have debated with too many atheists in my day. And I end up trying to intellectualize them. I have fallen into the trap to try to intellectualize my way through to somebody's brain. And it doesn't work. What does work is, hey, you're an atheist? Yeah. Did you always be an atheist? Were you always an atheist? No, I was raised Christian. Well, then what the hell happened? What happened as to why you were raised one way and now you're the opposite? Let's go back to where
it began,
where you exited the freeway of faith and got onto the freeway of atheism. Tell me that, because I guarantee the problem's there. It's not in your current behavior. It's
right.
in whatever the hell happened to you. Does that make sense? And the
Yes.
only way you can get to that point with your atheist friend, your non-heterosexual friend, your whatever friend, is by being available with time. Anyways, anything else you want to say?
Nope.
We got to end there. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for jumping on board and being with us. Hope you have a great week. You can check us out on multiple platforms. We're on Facebook, Coffee Time. That's a page you can join.
Coffee Time with Preston and Carrie.
Coffee Time with Preston and Carrie.
It's not just coffee time.
Whatever. I stream onto my personal Facebook page, so Preston Kolb. You can check us out on YouTube eventually. I don't think we're there yet. But, YouTube underneath Preston Kolb, it streams there. And Twitter, Preston Kolb. You can find it all there. Just
Still
multiple
don't
ways.
understand Twitter.
Shameless promotion, but just avenues. And thanks for everybody, your comments, getting involved. Glad to see it.
Have a great week.
Have a great one. Wait, I got some outro music I got to play. Boom. Goodbye.
It's 1:30 already. It's morning.
Yes, and what a lovely morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning.